Moon Letter, Astrological Podcast.
Astrology and the Four Elements by Ben Belinsky. 4 elements, from earth through water and air to fire, from the densest and most solid to the lightest and most subtle. We explore the meanings of the 4 elements in Western astrology and how they can help us to understand the 12 zodiac signs. Earth. Starting first with the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Earth is the densest of the 4 ancient elements. It is associated with the material plane, concerned with physical reality. Earth is our planet, our mother, our physical possessions. The element Earth relates both to the world of traditional agriculture and also to the modern world of finance. Taurus is a fixed earth sign. It's connected with the soil, the body of Mother Earth, the place where plants grow, the earth that needs water in order to be fertile, the earth that needs to lie fallow from time to time to save it from depletion. Virgo is a mutable earth sign. Mutable signs disseminate. Virgo is represented by a woman holding a sheaf of wheat. Her time is the harvest, the bringing forth of the fruits of the earth, and then what is taken to market to be traded, bought and sold. Capricorn is the cardinal earth sign. It is associated with the structural basis of traditional agriculture. It represents the ownership of land, the institutions that build silos to store grain in case of a poor harvest and to seed next year's crops. It also represents the banking and insurance systems that provide the finance to support the farmers and the agricultural cycle. To simplify, Taurus the farmer, Virgo the market trader, Capricorn the financier. The 3 earth signs can also be related to the 3 functions of money in modern economic theory. Taurus is associated with a store of value. Every individual and every society needs a way to store wealth. Nowadays that can be gold or jewelry or works of art. But money has the advantage that it is generally accepted as a convenient store of wealth that doesn't deteriorate. In astrological terms, Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, the planet of beauty, the planet of that which I hold dear. In other words, the planet of value. Virgo represents money as a medium of exchange. Without money we would have to rely on barter. For example, I have chickens, you have apples. We do an exchange. But if you don't need my chickens, and I don't need your apples, no deal. Barter depends on this double coincidence of wants. You need what I have, and I need what you have. While money facilitates the whole business of exchange by being something that can be easily transported and that everybody will accept. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, not only the communicator, but also the trader, the merchant, whose business is to do with buying and selling, and those who need a means that facilitates exchange. Capricorn represents the unit of accounting. To determine the relative value of a good or a service, we need a standard way to measure value, something that allows the value of a good or service to be compared and accounted for. Money has this function. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, in that Saturn's insistence on responsibility and accountability is a crucial part of Capricorn's role as providing the underlying structure to the world of business. Water. Water cleanses and heals by cleansing. Each water sign heals in its own way, from Cancer to Scorpio to Pisces, each deeper than the one before. Water heals infection, eliminates toxins, removes putrefaction, aids the natural processes of elimination. Cancer. Trust your body's ability to heal itself. All it needs is rest and comfort, to allow itself to be wrapped warm and protected, so that the gentle being within you may grow and strengthen, till it is ready to face the world again. Cancer is ruled by the moon, the celestial mother, whose instinct for protection and caring creates safety for all her children. Scorpio. Why are you holding on to that which is destroying you? The toxic thoughts that you repeat to yourself, affirming and reaffirming the feelings of guilt and worthlessness, the putrefaction and trauma that have been handed down to you generation after generation. I shall share my fearlessness with you and accompany you into the darkness to rescue the damaged, frightened child that you were. I shall show you the poison that has buried itself in your soul, but I shall not release you. You shall release yourself. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, lord of the underworld, the god that takes you to the depths of yourself in order to transform you, the god that requires total surrender of all desire in order for you to achieve, who requires loss in order for you to gain, who requires the destruction of the old so that the new may grow in its place. Pisces. I will show you the way to know solitude and not feel alone. Know that you can share your tears with me, knowing, unspoken, silent knowing, that your pain flows into me and out like breath into the universe. My mercy allows you to be merciful to yourself. My forgiveness allows you to forgive yourself. I shall stay with you even as you curse me and push me away, for you are part of me. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet whose compassion knows no limits, whose understanding of the oneness of creation is beyond language, beyond thought. Air. The element air deals with thought, intellect, communication, logic and ideas, so inevitably there is a lot more to say about it. Air needs to move, to flow from one place to another, from one state to another, from high pressure to low pressure. Heated, it rises. Cooling, it falls. It carries messages coded as sounds, smells, atmospheres. It is the medium of communication for language. Being live on radio or TV is described as being on air. The airwaves, so-called, are in fact electromagnetic, but we call them airwaves for want of a better name. But air is more than a medium for trivial chatter. It is logic, organized thought, the construction of a philosophical or legal argument, the abstract principles according to which we conduct relationships and resolve disputes. The three air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and they each process ideas and thought in a different way. Gemini is the sign of mutable air, and as the sign of the twins, it is about more than the fact that twins share a womb. It is about agreeing and disagreeing, how to resolve conflicts, and how to handle the contradictions within ourselves. By sharing, Gemini opens up the possibility of play, of games for two, leading to winning and losing, to rivalry and competition. Gemini is also to do with the dualistic thinking that has its roots in Aristotelian thought, that distinguishes the observer from the observed, mind from body, that sees man as separate from nature. It is the binary relationship between 0 and 1, between subject and object, between signifier and signified. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the messenger of the gods. His attributes are quickness of thought, and also, as the patron of thieves, the ability to deceive. For language can be used to mislead as well as to elucidate. Libra is the sign of cardinal air. While Gemini deals with the logic of either or, Libra deals with both and. Above all, Libra, as the sign of the scales or balance, looks for fairness and compromise. The clearest illustration of the principles of Libra can be found in Chinese philosophy, where the well-known yin-yang symbol represents the union of opposites. It takes the distinction implied in the duality of yin and yang, yin dark, yang bright, yin inner, yang outer, etc., and shows not only an embrace of the two equal principles, but also that yin gives birth to yang and yang gives birth to yin. Rather than declaring a winner and loser when resolving disputes, Libra looks for common ground. It determines what both parties want, and uses that as a basis for arbitration to find the solution that satisfies both sides. It should be apparent that Libra's approach is essentially slower and more painstaking than Gemini's. Libra needs to weigh all the options to be sure that a balanced outcome is achieved, something that satisfies both parties as much as possible. This can take time. Ruled by Venus, Libra's sense of balance and fairness is complemented by Venus's concern with beauty and harmony. Aquarius is the fixed air sign. While Gemini deals with contradiction, and Libra deals with compromise, Aquarius is given to breaking the rules when dealing with matters such as debate, problem-solving, and conflict resolution. Strategies such as challenging the other person's assumptions, or changing the game by shifting the point of view, or using intuition to jump to a conclusion without telling how you got there. But most favourite is to resolve the contradiction by shifting to a higher level of understanding that transcends the contradiction between thesis and antithesis, to create a synthesis. This is known as dialectical thinking. For example, A says there is a God. B says there is no God. C declares this to be a false dichotomy, that the point is to achieve enlightenment so that one is beyond dualistic matters such as this. Until Uranus was discovered in the late 18th century, Aquarius was considered to be under the rulership of Saturn. While Saturn bestowed a sense of logical structure on the air signs, Uranus's rulership introduced a change in the ways of thinking, challenging and disrupting accepted ideas, always looking for a new way of doing things. Fire, the cauldron, the crucible of experience in which we are transformed. Not the mere ideas of air, the insubstantial ether of communication, but the transforming power of life, the burning fiery furnace through which we walk, praising God, to emerge unharmed. For we are spirit, for our spiritual essence is fire, and through the fire of experience we become who we are. Socrates is reported as saying, "The unexamined life is not worth living." In the context we are creating here, no matter how much you experience, unless you examine it, it is of no value. But then some wag turned it round and said, "The unlived life is not worth examining," or if you haven't lived and experienced, you have nothing to examine. To bring these two statements together, there is a reciprocal relationship between experience and examination of the experience, just as there is a reciprocal relationship between fire and air. Fire needs air to burn. Too much air and the fire gets out of control. Air without fire is cold and static. Air needs fire to get it moving. As the first sign in the zodiac, Aries is the sign of the initiator, the pioneer. Aries starts the fire, gets things going. Mars, the ruler of Aries, is the decision-maker, the one who gives impulse to action. Leo is a fixed sign that sustains the fire, tends it, and keeps it fed, making sure it doesn't burn out. Leo's fire creates a welcoming space where we can sit together and be warm. Leo is ruled by the sun, the hearth and heart, the central flame of our solar system. Sagittarius is the mutable fire sign that uses the inspiration of fire to teach, to spread knowledge, lighting our path, acting as a beacon, guiding us on our journeys. Ruled by Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, Jupiter as Zeus was the king of the gods in ancient Greece. In India, he is known as Guru. In Kabbalah, he is associated with the Sephirah Chesed, the compassionate teacher.
And for more astrological and spiritual musings, check out moonletter.co.uk.